Hi everybody, and welcome to From Shambles to Shambhala. We are in salmon running time on the west coast here at the moment, and we decided today to go take a visit to Goldstream Waterfalls, which is a beautiful waterfall. It's probably about 30 feet high, gushing white water. And to our amazement, when we arrived, there were some people cheering. I mean, what were they cheering about? And then we realized there were salmon at the base of the waterfall trying to climb it, and just these incredible leaps up in the air. And then we realized there was a whole bunch of salmon just gathering together, waiting to try and attempt this climb up this waterfall. It's an amazing sight to see, and the incredible energy and strength that they put into the journey. And it reminds me of the 34th Jinki, which is the most powerful physical ability that people have, and in this case the salmon have, to really force the energy up and out of the water and up over the waterfall, or even just flowing up the stream, working their way back to their spawning ground. A beautiful, beautiful sight. And then on this day, November the 28th last year, we were in London, where, if you recall, Zia was singing her William Blake songs on the top of Primrose Hill at dawn on the 28th of November last year. And so she, as she often does, was singing to the salmon with her Blake songs as we were blessing some of our old items that we were shedding and letting go and sending them back to the earth through the flowing waters, including some crystals, some energized water, and some other ceremonial objects. And what this reminds me of is how important it is now for us to let go of old world stuff. The 3D world is dissolving away, and we can't take any of it with us. So it's very important for us to let go and surrender any of these old energies. And this obviously was symbolic for us of old ceremonial situations. So to that end, we have recently decided to build a new website. And Zia has done a phenomenal job of creating this updated website that now really reflects our true work in the world today, connecting very much to the new Earth grid, which is coming in, and really updating everything to reflect who we are today as we go through this shift of the ages. It will be coming out, or beginning its launch, on December the 1st. So feel free to go and have a look at the new images and the new content. It's still www.petertung.com. The image that we are using was as a result of a workshop I did down in North Carolina, where one of the attendees was a woman who worked with computer graphic design. This was before AI. And she did this creative piece of a descending dove. It's absolutely beautiful and represents the work we are doing absolutely wonderfully. So we're now using that as our main branding image. And then Richard Rudd has just done a second Sage Tea Party, where he is now promoting and talking about the golden path that he's now going to be doing over the next 18 months or so, beginning on January the 6th, Epiphany, where he'll be covering the whole golden path again, but in a very different and new way. And in this second talk, he was talking about 2026 as the year of the closing door, which is what he's saying is that there is going to be a decline, a bit like the decline of the Roman Empire, where nothing of that old world will be energetically supported anymore. So it's very important for us to let go of all those old energies. And he did say specifically not to try and start anything new next year unless it is connected to the new fifth dimensional frequencies coming in. This new golden path that he's beginning, he talks about it there, and we will have a link below if you want to join that the Sage Golden Retreat. We've got some very, very powerful energies coming up in December, and one of the biggest shifts is a movement of retrograde planets into direct motion. So the first to go was Saturn, went direct at the end of November, and then Mercury went direct right at the end of November. Then on December the 10th, Neptune will go direct. So there's this real impulse of energy moving forward after what's been a fairly stodgy time as we've moved through the sign of Scorpio. And in the sign of Sagittarius, there are going to be 5 planets lined up on the full moon on December the 4th, which is going to be a very powerful day. There is a general belief that the high frequency energies are going to be coming in on that full moon occasion with these 5 planets in Sagittarius. In the gene keys, the 2 gene keys involved are the sun will be in the 5th gene key and the moon will be in the 35th gene key. What's interesting about this is the 35th gene key is unique, and it's the only gene key where there is a direct link from the shadow to the siddhi. Richard Rudd calls it the backdoor to bliss. So just imagine now if you can spend some time very quietly on your own, going within under the illumination of the moon on December the 4th, and take it inside yourself and absorb these energies coming in. Being patient, that's the 5th gene key gift, and allowing it to come in, and you just don't know, you may have that moment of bliss or rapture or ecstasy on that day. And then we've got this role then to absorb these high frequency energies, to integrate them, and then spread them out into the world. And then that Neptune goes direct. Neptune is in the last degree of Pisces. So this is the opening of the final curtain onto all the stuff that we need to release. And then Neptune will stay in that 29th degree of Pisces until January the 26th, when we will really start to move forward into these new Earth energies. The 12-12 is always a dynamic portal day. So there's this 3-day window, 10, 11, 12. Mercury will have cleared its shadow from the retrograde motion. And then we come into probably the most powerful 3 days of the month, the 19th, 20th and 21st. On the 19th, we have the new moon right at the end of Sagittarius. So this is where we now set our intention for the whole of next year, having let go of all the challenges that we faced this year. And that event takes place on the 19th, the new moon with the sun and the moon together right at the end of Sagittarius. But at that point, at 28 degrees, we're also directly underneath the Galactic Center. So we have another powerful influx of energy coming down and in. And that leads us into the 21st, the Winter Solstice, happening very early in the morning, about 7:30 Pacific time, I think. And this is definitely a rebirthing moment. So when you look back over the year 2025 and all the challenges that you've faced and you've navigated your way through, now it's time to really set your intention that I'm now going to rebirth myself into the way in which I'm going to be in the future. And then, of course, we move into holiday season, and I hope you have a wonderful holiday season with your family and friends. I do think next year is going to be very different to this year. All the planets are in forward motion and will be staying in the sign that they've just moved into. So I think it's going to be a nice movement forward with much less of the aggravation and challenges that we've had in 2025. So I'm looking forward to a great year, and I hope you have a wonderful holiday season.